Civil rights for school nutrition programs presented to school nutrition managers and employees. During this presentation, you will learn about civil rights. What are civil rights and how these rights impact the service you provide to students and families participating in the school nutrition programs. Civil rights are the non-political rights of a citizen. They are the rights of personal liberty guaranteed to U.S. citizens by the 13th and 14th Amendments of the U.S. Constitution and the Acts of Congress. Civil rights education. All people involved in administering programs receiving federal financial assistance must understand civil rights laws, regulations, procedures, and directives. Education about civil rights must be provided to all employees every year. The Civil Rights Instruction, Food and Nutrition Services, FNS 113-1, was issued November 8, 2005. The purpose of the instruction was to establish and convey policy and provide guidance and direction to the USDA Food and Nutrition Service and its recipients and customers, and ensure compliance with and enforcement of the prohibition against discrimination in all FNS nutrition programs and activities, whether federally funded in whole or not. What is a protected class? A protected class is any person or group of people who have characteristics for which discrimination is provided based on a law, regulation, or executive order. Protected classes for the school nutrition programs are race, color, national origins, age, sex, and disability. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a product of the growing demands of the early 60s, launched by the federal government as a response against racial discrimination. Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, or national origin in federally assisted programs. No one in the United States shall, on the grounds of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. The Civil Rights Restoration Act of 1987 was issued to ensure non-discrimination in all federal programs, whether the programs were federally funded or not. A discrimination example for race and color is treating or speaking to a child differently, using slang, for example, or in a friendly manner because of race or color. A discrimination example against national origin is assuming a student doesn't eat a particular food because of their national origin. An example, assuming students of Middle Eastern descent do not eat pork. All customers need to be offered the same food choices. They have the option to choose what they want to eat. The Age Discrimination Act of 1975 ensures that no person in the United States shall, on the basis of age, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972 is designed to eliminate discrimination on the basis of sex in any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance, whether or not such a program or activity is offered or sponsored by an educational institution as defined by the legislation. Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 prohibits discrimination on the basis of handicaps in programs and activities receiving or benefiting from financial federal assistance. The Americans with Disabilities Act took effect on January 26, 1992, and prohibits discrimination on the basis of a disability. The Americans with Disabilities Act enables an individual with a disability to enjoy equal opportunity in employment and services. The manager and assistant should work with the school and children that are disabled or mentally challenged. They need to be offered the same choices and serving sizes as other students unless they have a properly completed and signed medical statement on file and require special accommodations. In August of 2000, enforcement of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was issued. It stated that a person with a limited English proficiency, LEP, which are individuals who do not speak English as their primary language and who have a limited ability to read, speak, write, or understand English, could not be discriminated against because of language barrier. Outreach in other languages is important. Recipients of federal financial assistance have a responsibility to take responsible steps to assure meaningful access to the information and services they provide. Elements of public notification. 1. Program availability. Inform applicants, participants, and potentially eligible persons of their program rights and responsibilities and the steps necessary for participation. Number 2. Complaint information. Advise applicants and participants at the service delivery point of their rights to file a complaint, how to file a complaint, and their complaint procedures. 3. Non-discrimination statement. This must be included on all information, materials, and sources used to inform the public about FNS programs. This is the text for the entire Civil Rights Policy Statement. It should be used in its entirety on your website and on documents printed for your program. When to use which version of the non-discrimination statement. Include the entire statement when space permits. Use the shortened version where space is limited. The USDA is an equal opportunity provider and employer. This is the shortened version of the non-discrimination statement. This part of the statement can be substituted on a menu or other documents when space is limited. For electronic communications, use the statement on the previous slide. Required public notification. All FNS-assisted programs must include a public notification system. The purpose of this system is to inform applicants, participants, and potentially eligible persons of program availability, program rights and responsibilities, the policy of non-discrimination, and the procedure for filing a complaint. Methods of public notification. Prominently display the "And Justice for All" poster. The public notification process should inform potentially eligible persons, applicants, participants, and grassroots organizations of programs or changes in the program. Provide appropriate information in alternative forms for persons with disabilities. Include the required non-discrimination statement on all appropriate FNS and agent publications, websites, posters, and informational materials. Convey the message of equal opportunity in all photos and other graphics that are used to provide program or program-related information. What to do if a complaint is made. Notify the school nutrition administrator immediately. Provide forms for written complaints or take detailed notes of oral complaints. Verbal or oral complaints. In the event a complaint makes the allegations verbally or through a telephone conversation and refuses or is not inclined to place such allegations in writing, the person to whom the allegations are made will write up the elements of the complaint for the complainant. Verbal complaints must be accepted and forwarded immediately upon receipt. Written complaints. Written complaints must be accepted and forwarded immediately upon receipt. Information needed. Complainant's name, address, and phone number, location where discrimination occurred, nature of the incident, basis for the claim, name of witnesses, dates when actions occurred. For written, verbal, or anonymous complaints, it is necessary that the information obtained be sufficient to determine the identity of the agency or individual to whom the complainant is directed, and to indicate the possibility of a violation. Only the federal representatives may reject a complainant on the basis of lack of merit. Every effort should be made to have the complainant provide the information about the alleged discriminatory action. Examples of civil rights noncompliance. Denying the opportunity to apply for program benefits based on a protected class. Example, all students should receive an application for free and reduced meals regardless of where they live or their nationality. Giving students eligibility information to anyone without receiving permission from the SN administrator. Eligibility information must not be shared with anyone without getting permission from the SN director due to confidentiality issues. Selecting members for planning and advisory committees in such a way as to exclude persons from membership on the basis of a protected class. Be sure appropriate measures are taken to include members from all race, age, and sex categories in any activities conducted by SN services. An example is don't have a student advisory committee made up of students from the same grade or sex. Ask a variety of students to participate. Overtly identifying a student based on a protected class. Do not assume students who are handicapped are eligible for free meals. Remember to treat all students with equality and kindness.